Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to TryCraft, and it is I, Akoto Kusamoto, going up a very long elevator, as you may see here. So I finally got this elevator done. However, it's not exactly how I had envisioned it, because, to be perfectly honest with you, I could not get the pulse extender for the Hermitcraft style elevator to work. I don't know why. It just wouldn't work. It just basically kept swapping the blocks back and forth. It would work once and then it wouldn't work again because it would lose the source block for the water at the top. I have no idea why. So I finally just sort of cheesed out a little bit and made a double elevator. So I have an up elevator that goes out of the back of my base that goes up to this platform, which is going to be the governor's mansion up here. So I can actually look down and oversee my minions. And then I made the good old-fashioned water drop on the other side. Whee! I love this thing so much! Had to put a light at the bottom or else it would freeze. But that's taken care of. So, welcome back to TryCraft. We are on episode 14. Yes, episode 14 of me on the TryCraft server. And haven't been a whole lot of changes here at the base. Although, we have started putting in the, I guess you'd call them ceiling tiles, although most of this is going to end up being hidden because this is going to be like the outside top of the base. But on the inside here, we're going to have like sort of archways and balustrades and things on the inside that are going to be basically from the top of these, and they'll go across and around and all sorts of different stuff. So it's going to look very medieval-esque, and once again, medieval, apocalyptic, futuristic, dystopian, all at once. I don't know if I can do that, but we'll give it a shot. And we're still at 0 deaths because I managed to get wrecked by a couple of different things the other day. Like, phantoms wrecked me. I was AFK, and I was AFK over here for about 5 minutes and didn't realize I hadn't slept for a while, and then I got killed by phantoms. So, yeah, luckily none of my stuff despawned, but we're still at 0 days without an accidental death. So there's that. But we do have some exciting developments on the server here, as far as my base goes, as we actually have someone who came to visit. So for those of you who've been here a while, it could not have escaped your notice that the customs area is actually staffed by my clone of me in golden armor, rather than Barry the Snow Golem, who's been with me since, oh my goodness, where? Derpcraft, actually, was when he was around first. And he's basically followed me from place to place in all the different iterations of servers I've been on and worlds. And I decided he needed a better job. So what I did was I actually kind of remade him a little bit and found him a job that he's actually much more suited for. And that is as Fabricator General Baroculus. Fabricator General Baroculus is here. He is here to actually oversee the construction of the base and to make sure the Mechanicum does not get up to anything hinky, and to watch for tech heresy, because, you know, tech heresy is an important business. So we've got to keep someone for that. So here he is up on his plinth with his brown robes, and it's still Barry because it's snow. We just kind of had to, you know, mess with him a little bit to make him Baroculus. The wheels don't work, by the way. It's the closest I can get to like something mobile, but for right now he's immobile. So let's switch him on and see what he has to say about his new situation. I hope he likes his new body. I mean, this took some effort. Shut up. I know it doesn't look like it took effort, but it took effort. It took like days of planning and preparation and rewiring and all sorts of stuff. So, I mean, just finding him the robe actually took a while. So, yeah. So let's switch him on and say hello to Barry. Baroculus? Barry, do you hear me?
Greetings, Governor.
Oh, fantastic. It worked. I'm so happy. This took a while for me to put together. Sorry, Baroculus. I guess I should call you now because that is your name. What do you think? Do you like it?
This body is far superior to my previous snow and pumpkin construction. The Omnissiah smiles upon my new form.
Yeah, much better, I think. It definitely suits you better. I mean, but it took a while. I'm sorry you were out of commission for a bit, but I mean, I had to put together all the wiring and all that. I had to look up some various different schematics on YouTube, and then I had to sort of like experiment with a few things. And
wait, did you not recite the proper Mechanicum incantations while assembling this mechanoid for me?
Well, I didn't say all the words. I mean, not in any particular order or anything. I just had to sort of work with what I had. I mean, and I said most of them, I think.
You know that's heresy, right?
Heresy's such a strong word. I mean, I wouldn't call it heresy so much as just, kind of cobbling some things together.
Skidita. Quick to me. Restrain this dog. He is tried for tech heresy of the highest order.
Whoa, 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 wait. Tech heresy. No. And besides, I only had one Skitari down here, and I don't know if he despawned or he got attacked by something, but you don't have any Skitari, man. I'm still working on that bit. It's like you and me here, buddy.
You didn't even build Skidita. You are a very poor administrator.
Hey, I think you need to be a little bit more appreciative of what I've done for you here. I'm not a poor administrator. We're just getting started here, but man, come on. This is not okay. I'm not okay with this.
Just wait until I have some Skidita, heretic. We will destroy your tech heresy and reclaim the city anew with the might and wisdom of the Omnisire.
Okay,
the machine god laughs at your feeble attempts to undermine the mechanism of
heresy
hey,
thing. I'll be over here
walk
if you
away
need
from me.
It's okay.
Wait until
Bye.
I have legs.
It's
You
okay.
will rue the day
Yeah.
you devised
I
the
get
will
you.
of
I get you.
Fabricator
See ya.
General
See you later.
Baroculus. We will
Bye.
reign supreme as the rightful leaders of the Empire.
Man, the nerve of some people. You make them a new body, you get them a new spot, you find them a new place, you get them a new job. What do? They try to bring you up on charges of tech heresy. Ugh, I mean, I don't know what to do with that guy. Well, we'll figure it out later. Let's see what we're going to be doing in this episode today, shall we? Well, according to the book, we're actually going to be working on the butcher, the blacksmith, the leather worker, and the seamstress's shops, and maybe we'll work on the cartographer's shop while we're doing that as well. It kind of depends on what we've got going on. We're going to be doing a live stream in just a bit here, and we're going to be doing all of those things on the live stream, but I will definitely let you see how everything's working, and depending on how far we get, we might do some of it in this episode as well. I also want to work on the walking path in the park that we've got in the back there, and the spires. We need to do more of those. So live stream incoming with that kind of stuff. By the way, if you haven't yet, give me a follow over on Twitch. That's twitch.tv/Akoto Kusamoto. I do live streams typically on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursday evenings, American time. America! Usually around 7:30 p.m. until 9 p.m. And then on Saturdays or Sundays, I do stream during the day. This kind of depends on what day, on how I feel and what I've got going on. So we would love to have you over there for some of the live streams that we're doing where we're building this base. So come over there, join us, hang out, have a good time. Let's go get started. Well, we finished our live stream a little bit earlier this evening, and I'm sorry I had to cut it a little bit short, but there was bacon cheddar hamburgers involved, and you better believe I wanted one of those. Considering all I had to eat today was a Hot Pocket before my show. So yeah, we had to do that. It was a moral imperative. So, and predictably, because I was only on for a little bit, this is all we got done on the live stream. Now, when I say this is all we got done, I really like this. I really like the way that this actually turned out. It's kind of like I started off thinking, butcher shop mixed with maybe grocery store, and then it kind of became a 7-Eleven. I'm not sure exactly how that happened, but we've got a really cool design, and we can thank Guyver UK for this idea, because I had one pane of glass and I went, I don't know. I put in a second pane in this, and everything came together after that, because we've got our smoker back here behind the counter. Hello, sir. What would you like today? I'd like a baked potato. Okay, I can get that for you. So we've got that behind here. As far as our smoker areas, we've got our little hand washing station back here. Always wash your hands, kids. And then we've got the looms. You talk about a multi-purpose block. So without this here, so let me take this off real fast and I'll show you. So without that, this looks like sort of a bookshelf or a box that's empty, right? So you can use it as boxes in a storage room. You can use it as empty bookshelves in a bookstore. But as far as hang on. There we go. But as far as the top of it, yes, it looks like a loom, sure. But it also looks like a grill. So if you do this with a campfire underneath it, and then like an item frame with something on it, in this case chicken, you can make a very convincing looking grill that's actually working. And then up here, we've got some iron blocks with some iron trapdoors to make this look like sort of a vent. that is catching all the smoke as it goes up. So it's really kind of a cool look that you can achieve with some of these blocks that, when you're looking at these blocks and looking at the textures, think about what they look like. Like, this looks like a grill. It also looks like a heat register, so you can use it as like a heat register in a house. You can use the sides as an empty bookcase. It's a very multi-purpose kind of texture that you've got on all these. And then the underside looks like something else, I think, but I'm not entirely sure. I'll have to actually look at it. But so we have that over here. Then we have sort of our food section here. We've got our fruits and desserts. So we've got our pumpkin pie. We've got our apples and golden apples, melons, cookies, sugar, honeycomb. We're going to get more honey bottles for in here once we get our apiary up and running. And then we have vegetables right here. So we've got mushrooms, we've got golden carrots, we've got baked potatoes, we're going to have beetroot in here because we just actually planted some beetroot. So we'll have like beetroot and beetroot soup because, why not? And then our meat section, of course, we've got steak, chicken, mutton over here, fish. We need to get pork chops up here. So yeah, I was really happy with the way this turned out. It's a really, really cool look. But and then of course one of my favorites. Here's the drink station. So we've got orange terracotta. So it's like that orange, the ugly orange counters that you see, with a couple of sea pickles for cups, a brewing stand for your actual like fountain drink, and then item frames and pressure plates to make it look like drawers. And then the last touch, of course, paintings that sort of look like food. And then these I made just thinking, let's make something that looks like logos for like the hanging things you see in there. And I like this one turned out really well. And I swear this looks like a real life label of some sort that I've seen somewhere. I want to say on meat or something like that. I can't remember. And then up here we've got bread. We'll get some more bread to put in here. And then the most important thing in the store, toilet paper. I couldn't resist. So that's what we've got in our little store with our skulls out front because it's a Warhammer 40k build. Of course, there's skulls. But we still have the leatherworker. We have the blacksmith / metallurgist back here to do. On the other side, we've got the seamstress. And then, of course, the one that I forgot out of all these is the apiary. And then we have the cartographer over there. So we've got these two to actually do as well. I need to find some bees, actually, at some point soon. Luckily, there's a flower forest right over there, so we can actually go over, if nothing else, take a bunch of saplings with us, grow trees until bees show up, and then we can take the hives with us and populate our bees that way. So we got to do a couple of those. So I'm going to actually do, I think I'm going to do the blacksmith next. So let's get started on that. And I'm not going to show you because I've actually got a build in mind. So we'll come back after it's actually been completed and I'll go through what I've got there. So let's do the blacksmith. I'm going to go get some blocks. Yes, definitely go get some blocks. I have nothing. We're going to go get some blocks and then we'll come back after I've slept and after we've done a little bit of building and we'll see where we're at. Well, I wouldn't say I'm 100% happy with the way this turned out, but I'm actually not displeased either because I tried a few things that I think actually worked really well, and here we go. So here is our blacksmith, and it's very, honestly, fairly simply appointed, except for this. This I'm really happy with. So this is the blacksmith's forge, of course. We've got a campfire underneath some lava here. We've got I love the red nether brick. It's such a cool texture and such a cool color, and it works so well with like these industrial kind of builds. It's just such a neat color. We've got anvils up there as far as more decorations, anvils on the wall, anvils on the floor, anvils everywhere. And then we've got like the grindstone so the guy can sit down here out front of his shop as people walk by to see if they want to come in and actually peruse his wares so they can see him sharpening up tools and things like that. We've got the stone cutter here over in the corner on top of a barrel. And this I really like. This is nothing but a coal block with some spruce trapdoors around it. So it looks like coal in a barrel or in a box where you keep it. And then we used coal ore on the floor to give it sort of that dirty, kind of gritty, grimy feel that you'd get from one of these places. Barrels on the walls, of course, for storage. And then we've got all of our various different weird stuff over here. We got the iron and golden horse armors. We've got mine carts, bars. So we basically cleared a bunch of stuff out of our storage to move over here where I'll know where it's at immediately. So, and then we've got him putting like his proudest achievements on or her, I guess it could be a her, putting his proudest achievements on display. So we've got like a golden chess piece, a golden sword that's enchanted, a shovel, of course, because, shovels are important, and then an axe over here. So, I'm not completely happy with it, but I'm not displeased with it at all, because we've still got the blast furnaces over here, but then we've got this forge, which I think looks really, really cool. I wish we had the Place Anywhere mod that you get in some of the modded Minecraft, where you can just basically hang stuff on things. So I would love to hang like a some iron tools here, or a pair of shears or something to make it look like it's in use. But unfortunately, we can't do that. Don't have that particular ability. But yeah, fairly simply appointed, but I still like it. I like it quite a bit, actually. So I think that looks really, really good. Nice. All right, let's move on to the next thing, shall we? And if you're sitting there kind of wondering to yourself what my method is here, I really don't have one. I'd love to say that I have like a method to this kind of building that I'm doing, but in actuality, I really don't have any kind of method that I choose when I'm building things like this. I just kind of go with my gut and go with what I think will look good. And that's really about it, honestly. I mean, there's usually three schools of thought when you're talking about building things in Minecraft. And they usually go something along the lines like this. The first school of thought is build the exterior of whatever you're building first, and then get it to where you like it, and then you can move on to the interior after that. That's one school of thought. So you see people like, would be some good examples of this. BOO would be a good example of this. Python would be a good example of this. Neocubist, I think, would be a good example of this. He sort of builds the outside and then sort of builds whatever's inside to fit what is he built on the outside. And then you got the school of thought of people who build from the inside out. They build and this is where you see a lot of people who do redstone primarily, but building secondary, is they'll do an interior to a building first. So they'll build a huge storage system, and then they'll build a building to go around it. If they're doing it freeform. Sometimes they'll plan it out beforehand. But so you see a lot of people that do redstone, they want what's inside to be the most important thing. So they want their storage system to be the most important thing. They want their cool piston doors. They want their hidden staircases. All the different stuff that you've seen people that do redstone, and they just sort of build their base around the contraptions that they built inside. And then there's the third school of thought, which is the Akoto school of thought, the Kusa school of thought. And that school of thought is, I don't really have a plan. I just sort of build what I feel like building. So I move on from thing to thing to thing to thing to thing, and just sort of go from there. So I mean, last week we built, the nether outside entrance to this, and like one spire and a little bit of the roof. And then I was like, you know what? I want to do something else. So we went over and built the food storage and that. Tomorrow, who knows? Maybe I'll want to actually work on the bar over there, or maybe I'll build something outside, like a bridge over to this or something like that. And that's how I keep from getting bored and or burned out from a build. Because when you're talking about a huge build like we're talking about here, this is not a small build. This is probably the most ambitious overall base build I've ever done. We're talking about multiple levels. We're talking about multiple different shops. We're talking about a spire. We're talking about the creeper farm out there that's going to be turned into another building. So this is a huge base build. And the way that I keep from getting burned out is I don't focus on any one particular thing for any longer than I can. So if I get to the point where I'm like, man, I'm getting tired of seeing this block palette, or man, I'm getting tired of seeing the floor while I'm just sitting here placing blocks like this, that's when I know to stop and go do something else. And if that means that I go and build another shop, that's fine. If that means that I go over to Spawn and do something there, or if I go to Tri-Town to work on villager trading, or if I want to go grind a bunch of levels so I can get all enchanted gear in my arming chamber here, I do that. I just sort of go whichever direction the wind blows me in. So if it's something that you're working on, if you have a huge build like this, if you have a massive base build or an industrial build that you're working on, and you're just feeling that you log on to Minecraft and you jump on and go, oh yeah, I got to go ahead and finish that build. Man, I really don't want to do that right now. Well, don't do it. If you really don't want to do it and your heart's not in it, it's not going to look good. It's going to look kind of weird, or it's not going to be what you wanted, or you're going to sit there and second guess yourself over and over and over again. You're going to build it and then tear it down, and then build it and then tear it down, and then build it, and then finally go, you know what, I'm tired of this, I don't like this build, I'm not doing it anymore, goodbye. And then you leave, and then you never come back to that world, because sometimes that just happens. You just get burned out on a particular build or a particular base because you're trying so hard to make it exactly what you're seeing in your mind's eye. Do you think any of this that's in here, any of this that's out there, the storage room, I smell it, do you think any of this was how I envisioned it in my mind's eye? No, not a thing. Not a thing in here is how I actually thought it would turn out, especially not this monstrosity over here that we're going to build up and around, of course. But this was not at all what I intended. I intended this to be like a block swapping up and down elevator that would take you up to the top, and then you could jump on and go all the way back down to the bottom. But I couldn't make that work for various different reasons. Maybe because of lag, maybe because of I'm just not good at redstone. I don't know. But I worked around it and came up with a different solution. And you know what? I think I like this better. This library, is this how I intended this to turn out? No, but this is how it turned out. And you know what? I'm pretty happy with it. I'm pretty happy with the way that it's actually turned out. It turned out better than I expected it to, but not the same as I had originally envisioned. So sometimes you just need to actually just step back, go move on to something else, finish that project or whatever that is, or get halfway through that project and then come back with a fresh perspective on what you're doing here. That's how I'm able to actually continue doing this, is that I just sort of bounce around from thing to thing to thing to thing to thing. And that's not how everyone does it. And I'm not saying that's how you should do it. But if you are a person like me who you want everything to be as perfect as possible and you want everything to look as exact as you imagine it as you could, sometimes you just have to realize that either the limitations of the game or the limitations of the block palettes or the limitations of your own particular skill. I mean, I'm not the best builder. I'm certainly not the best redstoner, but I work within those limitations to the point where I find something beautiful that I have made, that I can actually say, you know what, this turned out, not only did it turn out better than I expected, but it turned out better than I ever could have possibly expected, and it certainly isn't what I envisioned originally, because what I envisioned originally wasn't as good as what I ended up building, if that makes any sense. So that's my school of thought on building things, is I don't go from the outside in, and I don't go from the inside out. I just sort of go from thing to thing to thing to thing until it's all done. Until it's done to the point where I'm like, you know what? It's done, and I love it. I love this build, and I love what I've done with it. So what I'm saying is, don't feel like that you have to pick any particular style. If any, I'm sure there's other styles in that, but those are the three main ones that I've seen. So don't feel like you have to be pigeonholed into a particular style because you're a redstoner, or because you're a builder, or because you have a limited attention span, or you have limited time. You have like a regular job type job that you've got to go do, and you only have a couple hours a day. Don't feel like you have to lock yourself into a project to get it done. Work at your own pace, and you'll be surprised at the results once you've actually done that for a while and found your own personal style and what you really enjoy doing in the game, and how you really enjoy doing projects like this. And things will look a lot better, trust me. They'll look a lot better, they'll look a lot cleaner, they'll look very close to what you had imagined, and maybe even, in some cases, better. So, alright, preaching over, time to go back to building. Well, of all of these I've built, I think I might be proudest of this one, because this, to me, like, if you walked into a Hobby Lobby or a Michael's or something like that, this is kind of what you see. I need to get some more leather stuff over here, but we've got dyed leather on the walls here, sort of looking like clothes. So we've got the white, the yellow, and the green. I need to get pants and boots for that, but I just need to go grind at the skeleton grinder a little bit more to get those. So we got those. We got some things on the wall, like beds. We got a couple of paintings. But then we've got this, which I sort of put this together as a sort of a traditional style loom that you would have seen at some of the like textile manufacturing places back in like the 1800s or so. So I tried to make this look as close to one of those big looms as you could possibly get. And I think we got pretty close, actually. With just a couple of looms, a couple of banners with the stripe pattern on it, with the brown stripe pattern, and then some stairs and some trapdoors. And then we got a couple of crafting tables there for, like, this is where you stand to do the loom back and forth. I don't know how looms work, but that's how you do it. This is what they look like. Trust me. So we've got that done, and then we've got some bolts of cloth on the walls over here. So you've got the different shades and variants, and then a couple of like standard ones, and then you've got your wool that you're able to get here. So your fabric is here. So you've got like your purples, your light gray, your dark gray, your red, green, yellow, white, and black. So if you open it up, we've got a bunch of white wool, obviously, because that's the one we have the most of. But yeah, I'm really, really pleased with this. I think this turned out actually really darn well, and it's not overdone. It's just basically some stuff here. I mean, I like this one a lot. I like this one a lot too. I especially love this forge over here because I think this actually turned out looking really good. And then of course I do like the 7-Eleven quickie stop mart grocery thing. So I'm not sure which one of these I like the most, actually. I now looking at it, it's like this is the next day I'm recording this. And honestly, I like all three of these. I think they all look really good. And I really like this carpet idea, the carpet texture where you do wool and then you have carpet on certain parts to make it look like the carpet's all sort of like kinked up and been walked on a lot. But yeah, I'm a fan of all three of these, honestly. I think this one might be my favorite, but I don't know. Which one do you like? Which one's your favorite? I would definitely want to hear down in the comments which one of these you like the most. And unfortunately, because I take forever to do things, that is all the time we actually have for today's episode. So we'll have to hit the apiary, the leatherworker, the cartography station, and then sort of mess with other details in other places. Another episode here. So that'll probably have to be episode 15 or 16, because I actually have something special planned for episode 15 because we just hit another milestone on YouTube. Yep, 220 subscribers. So we hit another milestone, so we're going to do kind of a subscriber special kind of thing coming up soon. So stick around for that. But I hope you appreciated today's episode. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Leave a like on your way out the door. If you did like the episode, just press it gently. Don't smash it. You don't want to break it for everyone else. And if you have not yet, please consider subscribing to this channel. I do a lot of Minecraft content on this channel. I also do No Man's Sky, I do Fallout, I've played some Kerbal Space Program. I do a lot of open world and survival kind of games, so if you like those types of games, definitely hit the subscribe button and then hit that bell notification button so you know when I have a new video out. And by all means, follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at Akoto Kusumoto and twitch.tv/Akoto Kusumoto for live streams and more random Twitter inanity that I tend to put up on a regular basis. So, but above all else, whatever you do tonight, make sure you go out, play some games, have some fun. I'll see you all again real soon. Have a good night, everybody.